The coaching carousel has been absolutely insane this offseason so far. It's not even the offseason yet, it's still the playoffs. 10 head coaches have been fired so far this season, so I've decided I want to put them into a tier list of how good I think the firing was. All right, I've ordered the firings here as they happened in the season. So we got the first two Bryans here at the start, and we have all the end of season firings, and then we have our two playoff firings as well. So let's get started at the beginning with the two Bryans, and with Brian Callahan. Yeah, he absolutely had to go. This Titans team was terrible this season. Like, not even a shred of hope at all. It's never a good situation to put a rookie quarterback into with a head coach like that. And it's going to be even harder for him now that he has a new coach. But if he was going to stick with that regime, he was never going to make it in the league. They really threw him to the wolves this year, I'm going to be honest. This was just, I mean, since the start of his tenure, he just has not been that guy for them. And they were hoping he would be, but it never came out that way. So absolutely a good firing. He definitely needed to go. On Brian Daboll, I'm going to go with good firing. I don't think he definitely needed to go as much as Brian Callahan did. The Giants got a lot right this season. Jackson Dart and Scat looked like stars, players that were going to help this team for a long time. But after Scat got injured, Neighbors got injured, and then it was just kind of roll over and die time again for the Giants. And I guess they felt that was enough to get rid of Daboll. He's been with them for a while, but they haven't really had any success since that one random playoff appearance and playoff win with Daniel Jones. And yeah, I guess I understand the firing. It definitely makes sense. They needed a culture change there. Jonathan Gannon had to go. He absolutely had to go. There is no way around this. The Cardinals have been such an irrelevant team for the past 3 years that he's been there as part of his tenure. I genuinely cannot name a single interesting thing that happened to him this season besides when DeMercado fumbled the ball at the line and he smacked him. So, yeah, make it that what you will. I'm just gonna move on. Kevin Stefanski. I would not call this a good firing. I mean, I don't think it's a bad firing. I think if they're gonna try a culture change, go ahead, try a culture change. A lot of the Browns' problems come from the quarterback position, which you got to remember, he's not the one drafting these guys. He's not the one orchestrating these trades. It's not his fault he's had to work with Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders was okay, and the rest of the guys he's had since Baker Mayfield. So I don't know how to feel about this firing. I guess we'll find out once he inevitably gets a coaching job, because he's going to get one. If he can fly with a different team, I think he's definitely a brilliant mind. He's absolutely going to find another job, especially if some guys like Robert Saleh are finding other jobs. I think once all the coaches' hirings get filled, I'm going to make another tier list video on that, because I think that's something important to talk about. But anyway, on to the next one. Pete Carroll. The experiment failed horrifically. You'd usually give a head coach some time with a new team, but I don't think he deserved any time. I think the Raiders made the right call here. They were terrible this season. A season that was low-key supposed to be kind of exciting for them. They drafted Genty. Bowers looked like a star. They didn't really have a great answer at quarterback, so they brought in Geno Smith, and I guess it's not really at all Pete Carroll's fault that he was terrible. It's Geno's fault and Chip Kelly, because apparently he's just a dumbass. It makes sense. He absolutely had to go. Hold on. Do I think he was in the same level as these guys? If I'm going to change anything about this, it'd be moving him into just good firing instead of had to go. In fact, I think I will do that, actually. I think I'm going to put him there. It's a good firing. We have 5 head coach firings left. On to the next one, Raheem Morris. The Falcons were another team that just should have had promise this year that just didn't really do anything. They were technically alive in the NFC South until like the last week of the season, but it's really not that hard to stay alive in that division. That division is so incredibly weak all the time. He definitely did better in this job than Arthur Smith did, and that's why I'm not going to put him in had to go. I think maybe you gave him another year, give him some pieces with the draft, some new pieces to work with, and he could have orchestrated a better team here. I'm going to put this one in as well. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I'm really not. Morris is expected to be hired as the new Packers defensive coordinator, and so I guess we'll see his impact on the team there. Mike McDaniel. This was one of the most deserved firings. I'm sorry, this team fell apart this year. I suppose it might be hard for me to say that because they still beat us twice, but that is genuinely like just drop kicking a toddler. The only time this team was really successful was when they were playing this little screw it, Tyreek's down there somewhere system with Tua. Pretty much as soon as Tyreek got injured and as soon as he started to have a little bit of a regression in last year and in the start of this season, it just fell apart for them. They were really not that good. I think the team will land on their feet. I think Tyreek comes back. I hope they have another answer for backup quarterback that isn't Zach Wilson, because if I have to see another Jets quarterback do well in this league, I might just rip my own head off. Yeah, anyway, he had to go. It was over. John Harbaugh. These last three, I'm not going to lie, the almost playoff firing and then the 2 playoff firings are the 2 that are the hardest for me to pinpoint my opinion on, because I don't know. I really don't know. These are the ones that are going to take a couple years to marinate. Off the dome right now, I'm going to start with Harbaugh. I won't say this is a bad... yeah, it's going in eh. I'm not going to call this a bad firing. I'm definitely not going to call this a good firing. John Harbaugh is a great head coach. But it's just, when you have a great quarterback like Lamar Jackson, you can't keep wasting his career on these seasons with Harbaugh that just aren't really going anywhere. You have to try something different before that window closes on him. And that window may have already closed. Patriots might be back. The Broncos might be back. This is next level, almost career wasting. Lamar is still pretty young. He's probably got a lot of years left, but your younger years are the ones where you're more active, more agile, you're a better player. And that's an eh firing. Sean McDermott. I don't agree with this one in the slightest. I think Sean McDermott was not the issue with the Bills this season, and he hasn't been in a while. I think it's Brandon Beane, and I think the Bills absolutely scuffed this up horrifically. And don't get me wrong, I think it's hilarious. Freaking, this is amazing for me. You have to wonder, is this the right decision for your team? And the answer is probably no. McDermott was doing what he could with what he had, and Brandon Beane was not giving him a lot to have. That receiver core has been abysmal outside of Diggs, and then now Diggs is gone, and you're seeing it right here. And yeah, Josh Allen didn't play great in that last game, and yeah, that was a catch in overtime. But this is just another year. This is the same thing I was saying about the Ravens. It's just, you can't keep wasting these years of your quarterback's career, of his prime, where before the Super Bowl window closes. And again, now their divisional window, they had a window of like 5 or 6 years where they just had the division to themselves. Drake May is a thing, and all of a sudden that window is gone. And it's just, they made the wrong decision. They made the wrong call on this. I'm going to call that. Mike Tomlin, I think my opinion on this is just, you do something so much over and over. That's the definition of insanity. Something has to change if you want to do anything with this team. I think Aaron Rodgers retires. I think his team goes into a full rebuild next year. And I don't think Tomlin was the guy to lead it. He's been bringing them to the playoffs year after year. Sure, you could say that about Tomlin, Harbaugh, and McDermott, but they've done absolutely nothing. This is like these three are very similar in that way. They are not entirely playoff winning coaches. Tomlin had a good thing going for a while, but it's just after a while, the 8-9, 9-8, 10-7 seasons can kind of get to the fans, and you have to think, could this team be doing better if it had different coaching? And in the case of Tomlin and the Steelers, and in the case of the Ravens and the Bills, you're all about to find out. Anyway, that is my opinion on the coaches' firings this year. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will be making a video once all the coaching vacancies get filled on the hirings, and I'll be making a video on the championship weekend coming up. Obviously, my picks for the divisional weekend didn't go super well, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.